The thing not to do is to shout from the rooftops that, oh, I have figured out the perfect way to manage calendars. So I'm going to do all this and you all need to adjust to my way of doing things because it's the best. Obviously, nobody does it this way so crassly. But oftentimes at work, people end up conveying that kind of attitude, which is like, oh, you must figure out a way to work with me, which almost creates this kind of power dynamic almost. I suggest avoiding that. Okay. I have used this technique for many, many years. So I'll share with you how it works, how you can protect your own time while still being cognizant of other people's calendars. It's very straightforward. It's about priority, right? So if you're talking about a certain slot in your calendar, and either that slot can be taken by something that you want to initiate or control, whether it's deep work or a meeting you want to do, or something that's going to be imposed on you. The first step is, do you need somebody else's time more than they need your time? So for instance, if I need to meet with my manager's manager, well, guess what? I will need to adjust my calendar to accommodate his or her calendar. It's obvious, right? It's obvious. I'll have to make some compromises at times. And that's fine. We all make those compromises. Now, what if somebody else wants to meet with you? And there are all these blocks in your calendar. What do you do then? That's where the LNO system comes in very handy. Because what you have to evaluate is it an L task for you, an N task for you, or an O task for you? Not for them, for you. If it is an L task, it's the same thing that you would do when you want to meet your manager's manager, your skip level, which is adjust your calendar. It's an L task. Just do it. If it's an N task, then use some of the other calendar time that you made available for these types of meetings. And if it's an O task, then try not to have the meeting. That's number one. But if you have to have the meeting, then what I usually do is I let them know transparently that right now I'm very strapped on my schedule. There's just not enough time available, unfortunately, because I'm working on some priorities. Is it okay if we schedule our conversation ad hoc? So this is the trick. And I learned this trick from a Mark Andreessen blog post. It might be 20 years old, but basically the trick is that we are not going to schedule time in calendar for this O meeting. But is it okay if I message you on Slack on Friday and let you know when we can have a quick conversation? And if they really need to talk to you, they will say yes. I don't want the mental load and the stress of having this meeting, which I know is an O meeting. Because sometimes when I have a meeting, say like 3 p.m., it kind of spoils the work I do in the morning because I'm like, oh shit, this meeting is coming up. I don't want that. So what I end up doing is during my low energy period on that Friday, I will ping this person and say, hey, I happen to be free 1 hour from now. You want to chat? In most cases, they say yes. So, okay, let's chat. Because I know that at that point, I was going to be low energy anyway. I was bored. So that's a nuanced approach using the LNO framework to adapt this intentional calendar approach to the realities of work. You don't want to be too rigid. You don't want to come across as an asshole. At the same time, you do want to protect your time. So this is a way to balance that.